The word of the year is intentionality. The fact of being deliberate and purposive, a thing intended, an aim or plan. I am someone who can bite off more than I can chew. I like to be involved in things. I like things in the diary to work towards, goals, things to look forward to. But sometimes it can end up being a bit of a mess, a bit of a blur. Some things end up being done half-heartedly. Some things end up not being done at all. And I just end up being unhappy and burned out. I have to change my life. I have been changing my life. I have already changed my life, but it is an endless process. So it's time to get my ducks in a row for the year ahead. There is no point in building out a vision board of my picture perfect 2024 or the rest of my life if I have no intention of doing any of those things. The intentionality has to start before I even pick the things to go on the board. This year, I am intentionally setting goals I believe I can achieve. I am intentionally setting goals that are just beyond what I believe I can achieve. And I am setting goals that require intention, the plan or the aim. Remember the plan or the aim? I'm setting goals that require intention. One example of this is 100 days of fitness. Now this is actually my second time doing it. I completed it just before Christmas, on the 21st of December in 2023. No, I didn't document it because of being a terrible YouTuber, but the intention, we're getting there. And it fits in with my word of the year because I know I can do it. I've changed the criteria of a daily workout to push myself just beyond what I know I can already do. And achieving this every single day requires intention. Workouts don't just happen. You don't just go for a run accidentally without realizing. I have to find or make time in my calendar to get all of those workouts in, or they just won't happen. I am being intentionally delusional. As a whole, I have decided that the opposite of imposter syndrome is delusion. And imposter syndrome likes to creep into the gaps of your mind that you leave open for it. Imposter syndrome happens to you, and delusion, you have to go and happen to it. You have to wake up every day and decide that you are better than everybody else. Or not, whatever your thing is, but delusion does not happen by accident. I am being intentional and yet delusional about my career. I quit my full-time job in 2023. Surprise, surprise. And as a freelance somebody, you have to be intentional about finding your next job, finding ways to make money, finding ways to save money, being intentional about your financial planning as a whole so you don't end up in debt or drowning. And I have a very busy year with quite a lot to pay for. So I am being intentional about making this work, making work, and being delusional that it's gonna work. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I am trying my best, and now this one is new. I'm trying my best to be intentional about relationships, both platonic and romantic, but I am trying my best to be intentional about relationships. Maintaining adult relationships is not magic. Texts don't answer themselves, missed calls don't call people back, and the time slot your friend has in their calendar to see you is not going to match the time slot you have in your calendar to see them. I am being intentional about replying to messages. I am being intentional about returning phone calls, sharing good news, congratulating people, my friends, and using my principle to be the best friend I can be, but also to push myself just beyond my comfort zone or my expectation of what being a good friend has been so far up until this point in my late 20s. I'm being intentional about content creation, mostly actually editing it, but also creating it in the first place. I listened to Rick Rubin recently on the Huberman Lab podcast about creativity, and the shortest version of my key takeaways is basically output over outcome. So I am being intentional about putting things out in the world. So I'm doing that here on YouTube. I'm doing that over on Sonder and Salt, my podcast. At Sonder and Salt, we are also doing that over on Patreon. And I'm gonna focus my intention there on the output, and the outcome is that hopefully you guys enjoy it. On that note, I hope you guys don't mind. There are some vlogs from 2023 that were never edited that I now have the intention to edit. So I'm gonna upload some of those in the next couple of weeks and months. Let me know what your word of the year is in the comments below. Let me know if you wanna jump on intentionality with me, what you wanna be intentional about, and let's just go and smash 2024.